2024. Let's face it, it's been stressful, overwhelming, tiring, especially if you're over the age of 30 and you don't live with your parents, right? We got bills to pay, groceries to buy, inflation's sky high, there's threats of nuclear war, we got a presidential election coming up. All of these things are stressing us out. Probably don't have time for therapy. A lot of us don't want to do drugs. So what do? Well, more than likely, if you clicked on this video, it's probably because you're looking for a meditative practice that actually works in real time. You're looking for a way to de-stress, looking for a way to get more calm, get more relaxed, find peace, sleep better, be more present to the moment, find your flow, be at ease. And you've been told meditation helps, or you've been doing meditation and it hasn't been helping. Well, in this video, I want to go over my three-step process, my three-step meditation process that actually works in real time. It's a process that will actually help you when the mess comes, when the chaos hits. It'll help you be cool, calm, and collected when things are a bit busy, a bit hectic. Because if you're like me, I didn't want to learn meditation just so I could get good at meditation. You see, I discovered meditation in 2011. So I've been meditating for about 13 years. But the problem was my first 10 years meditating. The only time I could get cool, calm, and collected and present to the moment was while I was meditating in a quiet place. And I would have to spend anywhere from a half hour to an hour to actually get into that position of calmness, feeling at ease, feeling at peace, being present to the moment, being okay, being aligned with God. But then what would happen is I would get into this nice flow state, this nice peaceful state, this nice relaxful state, be one with the universe, having all of my chakras aligned. And then 20 minutes later, some asshole cuts me off in traffic and I'm right back into my normal phrenic state. And I remember when this used to happen to me, I used to get so freaking frustrated because I used to spend hours meditating. It was like whenever something would happen, I was like, I have to go meditate. And I was starting to give up on meditation because I was like, if the only time I could get present to the moment, the only time I could get calm is while meditating, then there was no point. Because I wasn't, again, meditating just to get good at meditation. I wanted to meditate so that way when I participate and engaged with life, I would come from this place of presence. And then it just kind of hit me that the idea of meditation, and it took me a while to figure this out, the idea of meditation is not to feel better. The idea of meditation is to get better at feeling. Meaning, there's no such thing as a bad meditation process. I used to think that if I would meditate for 20, 30, 40 minutes, that if I didn't get into this Zen-like state, it was a bad practice. And if I didn't get there quickly, within like 6, 7, or 8 minutes, I would just give up. I'm like, oh, I'm too angry to meditate. I can't meditate right now. And it wasn't until 2020, when that thing happened. You guys remember what happened. When I was stuck in the house all by myself and all of these feelings started to come up, it wasn't until that time until I discovered the book Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender by David Hawkins and The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer that I discovered that meditation, the idea of meditation is about acceptance. It's about accepting what is. It's about being present and actually experiencing the ups and downs of life. Because I always thought from all the other books that I read and all the guided meditations that I listened to that the purpose of meditation was to feel calm, when in fact that wasn't the purpose of meditation. The purpose of meditation was to accept what's actually going on. Which means the other day I remember I was at the gym, and there was this guy I was watching. We were in the back room, and there was this guy, he was trying to meditate. And while he was trying to meditate, this kid started to jump rope next to him. And I remember I was watching him through the mirror. I was watching him. And he just like looked at the kid, and he was like so annoyed. He kind of like shook his head. And he was getting frustrated because he couldn't get into that calm feeling that he wanted. And I think he was probably focusing on his breath, because I did speak to him later on. He said he was doing something like box breathing, and the kid was bothering him. But that was the perfect time for him to meditate while there were distractions going on, to just accept the fact that the kid was there jumping rope. And that's the problem with most meditation practices, is that in order for us to meditate, we think we need all of these requirements. We need a quiet place, someplace with no distractions, someplace by ourselves, someplace comfortable. But the fact is, real life, if you're meditating to help you engage with real life is very, very messy. And you have to accept the fact that real life is messy. You have to accept the fact that there's going to be suffering, there's going to be pain, there's going to be stress, there's going to be anxiety. And the idea of meditation is just to accept that and to experience it, to actually experience it. Like I said, meditation is not about feeling calm. It's not about feeling better. It's about getting better at feeling and experiencing what's going on now. So in this video, I'm about 7 minutes in, I'm going to explain to you my 3-step meditation process to actually help you experience what's going on, to help you accept what's going on, to help you release expectations, find your flow, be at ease, be at peace. Be at peace even when there's a mess going on. Be at peace even when you feel anxiety, when you feel stressed. And learn to step back from it and look at it objectively. So this is a meditation process that I've been doing probably the whole entire year of 2024. And I've seen tremendous results. Being able to just accept what is. Being able to let go. Being able to surrender all of my problems to God, in a way, if you're religious, or the universe, or your higher self, and allow it to flow on through you and pass. Being able to let go. So I'm going to explain to you my 3-step process, because what's special about this process is it's very, very trainable, where you can actually do it in the mess of life. Now, it does take some time to get used to it, but it's a very, very simple process. So it's a 3-step process. Step 1, let's say you are finding a comfortable place, right? Like for me, I'm sitting up straight right now. Step 1 is noticing the breath and controlling the breath. Now, the way I do it, I like to do a HRV breathing routine, which is 5 seconds inhale, 5-second exhale. And what I do is I actually count. So I inhale and I count to 5, and then I exhale and I count to 5. Now, when you first start this, I recommend doing this first step for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And I want you to actually count in your head as you're inhaling and exhaling. Now, what's going to happen while you're doing this process, of course, you're going to think about other things. You might even be thinking about the count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you'll notice in the background, you'll still have thoughts. You'll still be thinking. That's perfectly okay. What this does is it relaxes your physiology. It gets you into a nice rhythm. It gets you into a nice flow. It's kind of like if your mind is like a lake or an ocean, what it's doing, this breathing routine is doing, is basically making the ocean a nice, calm wave, a consistent wave, right? So that's the first step. Step 1, 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale. Anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, right? From there, step 2, you drop the breath meaning you stop the count, you just allow yourself to breathe naturally. And more than likely, because you got into a rhythm, you're naturally just going to start to breathe like that. 5 second inhale, 5 second exhale, right? The next step is a mantra. Now, what a mantra does is it gives your mind something to chew on. It's one single thought, a thought that you're going to continuously think over and over again. And my mantra is allow. So in my mind, while I'm still breathing, I'm not controlling the breath no more. I'm allowing it to do whatever it is. I'm just saying in my mind, allow, allow, allow. And what this means to me is just allow whatever it is I'm experiencing just to happen. So for instance, if you're saying your mantra and you're saying allow, allow, allow in your head, and you start to notice people walking by, like my girlfriend, she just walked by, you just allow it to happen. Know that because you're allowing it to happen, it's going to pass on through. Maybe you might notice tension in your body. You might notice tension in your muscles, in your chest, in your stomach. You might notice all of these feelings come up. You might notice sadness. You might notice frustration, anger. What you do is you just say allow. Allow it to be there. Allow it to happen. Maybe you notice a loud noise in the background. You just say allow. Like right now, my girlfriend, she's emptying the laundry. I'm just going to allow that to happen. Not get frustrated with it. But if frustration happens to come up, allow it. Because when you allow something to happen, it's just going to pass on through. So for me, the mantra, sometimes I don't even move to step 3. I'll say the mantra anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. So if I do the breathing for 2 to 3 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, I might do the mantra for 10 to 15 minutes. And then the third step is detach. Now, what do I mean by detach? You pull back. You rise above whatever is going on. So that way you could be more objective. Now, the way I like to do that is all I do is I imagine looking at my third eye right here. And I look at the spot and I just focus on that spot. So basically I drop the breathing, I drop the mantra, and I just focus on this spot. And usually what happens is while I'm focusing on it, I can actually feel myself begin to float above whatever is happening. And I begin to create space. I begin to step back. And in that way, I'm able to be way more objective. Now, sometimes I don't make it to this step. Maybe I'll just do a 10 to 15 minutes of the mantra. Sometimes I'll just go to the breathing. Sometimes I'll alternate. Sometimes I'll go into the breathing, go to the mantra, and then I feel like I'm losing the mantra. I'm not doing a good job, and I'll go back to the breathing. But this is the 3-step process that I do. And I do this every day from anywhere from 10, 15 to 20 minutes, right? Now, what's powerful about this process, like I said, this is a meditation, but what's powerful about this is that the more you do it, if you do this daily, you're able to take this into real life situations. What do I mean by that? The breathing practice, right? Let's say you're driving and somebody cuts you off and you feel yourself get angry because somebody cut you off. All you have to do now is do the 5-second breathing. 5 seconds inhale, 5-second exhale, right? If you do that 2 to 3 times, you'll start to get into this nice zone of allowing whatever's taking place to take place. It allows yourself to experience it. From there, you can move right into the mantra. Okay, the guy cut me off. Allow it. Allow. You say that 3 to 5 times. You just allow whatever anger to come up, and you just allow it to be there. And then from there, in real time, you could actually start to create space from it. Now, you don't have to close your eyes and look at your third eye. You could do all of this with your eyes open, but you could start to rise above it automatically. But the key here is to be consistent with it. Because know that when you practice this routine, and it only takes 15 to 20 minutes of practice a day, you can literally take this with you in everyday life. So it's super, super simple, but you first got to train it. And I like this process because it's very, very trainable. It's very, very simple. You could take it with you into real life, and it can literally change your life. You'll literally step into life more free. You'll be able to experience life. You'll be more present with the moment. You'll be more joyful, more peaceful, more loving. You'll be more accepting, even when times get rough. Because right now, we're living in a rough time. Presidential elections coming up, inflation, immigration, all of these things is happening, especially if you're living in the United States where people are in chaos right now. We need more people that are able to keep it together. We need more people that are accepting, because right now in the country of the United States, we're very, very divided. So we need more leadership, more people who are going to be willing to be accepting of people who have different opinions from us. So I really, really recommend you practice this process. Again, the process is HRV breathing, 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Next, step 2, mantra. Now you could choose your own mantra, but my mantra is allow, allow. So I just say it in my head, allow, allow, allow. And then the third step, if you could get to it, is you detach from it. You take a step back. How do you do that? For me, I just like to look at right here, third eye, and I kind of feel like I rise above it and I start to create space from it. If you do this process, I promise you, you'll feel a whole lot better. You'll be way more accepting. You'll feel way more calm, more collected, more cool, more relaxed, more in flow. You'll sleep better. You'll make better decisions. You'll be a better parent. You'll have better relationships. And it only takes 20 minutes a day. Now, for some of you that say, oh, I don't have that time, I'm going to suggest that if you don't take care of your health now, if you don't take care of your stress now, you can't afford not to do this. Because if you continue to let your stress rise, bad things will happen to you. Just look it up on Google. What happens if I don't handle my stress over years? If I'm chronically stressed, heart disease, cancer, all of these things could happen. And so I'm not doing this to scare you, but I'm doing this to hopefully help you make a decision that this is more urgent than it may seem. Create some urgency within yourself. You can't afford not to do this. On top of that, if you do this process, you'll actually have more time. This is the only routine I know that will actually create more time in your life. Because if you lower your stress, if you learn to be more accepting, you'll have more clarity. You'll be more efficient. You'll see things on your to-do list that's not necessary at all. So please try this process out. It's super simple. You can literally do it right before you go to sleep, okay? So hopefully you'll do it. Hopefully you found this video very, very valuable. I understand that my girlfriend's in the background doing laundry. She got her headphones on, but what am I going to do, right? I have to accept what is. If you like the video, please like. Please comment in the comment section below what you enjoyed about it, if you're going to do it, if you don't like it. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe now. Peace.